What's going on, YouTube? This is your host, Michael W. Johnston from the Progressive Machine. And today we're going to talk about a topic that I think is really important, that people really understand and know what it means to be a progressive. And being a progressive to me is someone who is willing to fight for social justice and social change. Someone like Bernie Sanders, someone who is going to fight for Medicare for all, the Green New Deal, public colleges and universities tuition free and wiping the student debt with a speculation tax on Wall Street, decriminalizing marijuana, criminal justice reform, reforming the military industrial complex, and things of that nature. Now, for me, I got into politics in about 5 years ago, around 2015, when Bernie Sanders announced that he was going to run for president. And I started listening to YouTube, independent media, independent news channels like Kyle Kulinski from Secular Talk, Mike Figueredo from the Humanist Report, Tim Black from the Tim Black Show, Sam Cedar from the Majority Report, David Dole from the Rational National, and David Pakman from the David Pakman Show. And these guys really opened my eyes and made me want to make a channel of my own, because I strongly believe in these progressive values that will help our country. So for me, I ask myself, why do these policies matter, right? Why are they important? And to me, there's nothing more American, there is nothing more patriotic than helping your fellow Americans. It just makes sense to me, right? You have a broken medical system that has 40,000 people die every year due to lack of health insurance. You have 40 million people who are underinsured, over 45 million who are uninsured or underinsured. So that's around over 80 million underinsured and uninsured. You have 500,000 people, 60% of our bankruptcies are from medical expenses. You have a crumbling infrastructure where we're having water problems and people are getting sick and dying, like up in Flint, Michigan. We have people going into debt for going to college and wanting to get a better education to better themselves. They're coming out in a life debt that chances are they'll never pay off. They can't go bankrupt from it, so they can never run away from it. But it is crippling them to a point where it's not beneficial for our economy. Colleges have gone up 1,200%. The Green New Deal, fighting for renewable energy and changing our system to where we're moving away from fossil fuels and coal and creating a habitable environment for our children and our grandchildren and their grandchildren and so on and so forth. Because global warming, climate change, it's not a hoax, it's a real thing, proven by thousands upon thousands of scientists who are all in agreement that it is man-made and we need to make a difference, right? So what it means to be a progressive is fighting against the establishment, the corporations and the multi-billionaires, the 1% who are ripping off the American people. When we talk about these programs, we're made fun of. It's a pipe dream. It can't happen. You're living in la la land. You're a socialist. You're a communist. You're evil. And the question they always ask us when we say, well, we want Medicare for all because we want everybody to be covered. Why are you going to pay for it? Okay. We want a Green New Deal where we can rebuild our crumbling infrastructure, move over to renewable energy, and create millions of union working jobs. How are you going to pay for it? We want to make education more affordable and more accessible for the less fortunate so that they have a chance to get a better education, to get a better job, to become more productive in society. Well, how are you going to pay for it? Well, Bernie has laid out how we're going to pay for all of it. Just fucking Google it. It's not that hard. But when we talk about tax breaks for the rich, endless wars that, for example, Iraq, 20 years later, we're still there, thousands of American lives lost, $7 trillion spent. Well, nobody asked how we were going to pay for those things. Nobody said, hey, how are you going to give tax breaks to the rich? Nobody said, hey, how are you able to bail out Wall Street to a tune of trillions of dollars in 2008? How are we going to fight that war and go steal that oil? Nobody questions it. Nobody asks, how are you going to pay for it? But when I sit here and I ask you, can we please ensure more people like the rest of the industrialized world? Can we create more jobs by creating renewable energy? Can we legalize marijuana? Can we help kids get a better education? Can we reform our criminal justice system to get rid of private prisons? The first question they always ask is, how are you going to pay for it? It's a joke. So we can pay for all these other things, but when it comes to helping Americans, the working class, the working poor, the middle class, how are we going to pay for it? It's a joke. We're living in a society where we have 40 million without insurance, 40,000 dying, 500,000 going bankrupt. We have situations up in Flint, Michigan, where our infrastructure is crumbling, our water systems are crap, and people are getting sick. We have kids who are not going to college and they're turning to a life of crime because they don't have opportunities, because they don't have enough money, and they're told that they can't go to college. It's a broken, corrupt system that doesn't work for its people. Private prisons, that's another issue that we want to get rid of. Criminal justice reform. Bernie just released his criminal justice plan. He also released his Green New Deal plan. You should definitely check both of those out. But with criminal justice, we have a system where we have prisons for profit, where the more butts we have in those beds, the more money we're going to make. So we're going to incarcerate these people for longer times and give them longer sentences because we're going to make more money off of them. Well, who pays for them? The taxpayers pay for them. We need to end that. We need to get rid of the 3-strike law. We have people literally serving time in prison for marijuana charges, and marijuana is legal in several states. We need to stop treating it like a class 1 felony drug and get these people out of prison. It's a joke. We have a system where we have people who are being subsidized by the government because large multi-billion-dollar mega corporations don't pay a living wage. The minimum wage was created in the New Deal by FDR to be a living wage, not to live luxurious. Nobody's saying that, but to have food in your stomach, clothes on your back, and a roof over your head. But you have companies like Walmart who were subsidizing their employees because they refused to pay them better wages. They refused to give them benefits. People can't afford their medical working at Walmart. So what do? They go without, right? And they go to the government for government assistance, whether it's welfare, WIC, Section 8, food stamps, Medicaid, things of that sort, because Walmart won't pay a living wage. Hey, Walmart, if you just paid your employees more money, they could get off government assistance. And hey, maybe we could take that money for government assistance and reallocate those tax dollars to help our crumbling infrastructure, our educational system, our healthcare system, shit, just about anything else. So that's what I'm talking about, guys. We live in a corrupt system, and change has to come from the bottom. It will not come from the top. Look at all the great movements that we've had in the history of this country: the civil rights movement, the gay movement, the women's movement, the labor movement, where people stand up and they say, enough is enough. We're tired of it, and we're not going to take anymore, and we're going to fight to get what we deserve as Americans. And that, my friend, is patriotic. That is American. Getting our veterans, our troops off the street. For God's sake, they fought for this fucking country, and we have 60,000 veterans sleeping on the fucking street, don't have access to jobs and health care, or at least adequate health care, because I heard the VA hasn't been that great. They fought for this country. They volunteered their time. They dedicated their time and risked their lives for us, and they're sleeping on the street. Yet we have no problem bailing out Wall Street. We have no problem fucking giving tax breaks to the rich and sending troops over to war. And it's like Bernie said, if you don't have enough money to take care of our troops when they come home, do not send them to war. These endless regime change wars are horrible. So now I'm going to play you guys a video. And it's a video that Bernie ran in 2016 that is about morality And it really speaks volumes to what we believe and what's right. And it's very powerful. So I hope you enjoy it. We'll be back right after the video.
What does it mean to live a moral life? When we talk about morality and when we talk about justice, we have to understand that there is no justice when so few have so much and so many have so little. There is no justice when the top 1/10 of 1% owns almost as much wealth as the bottom 90%. Millions of people are working long hours for abysmally low wages, working hard, but unable to bring in enough money to adequately feed their kids. There is no justice when the United States of America has the highest rate of childhood poverty of any major country on earth. How can we talk about morality, about justice, when we turn our backs on the children of our country? We have in this country sufficient amounts of money to put more people in jail than any other country on earth. But apparently, we do not have enough money to provide jobs and education to our young people. We are the only major country on earth that does not guarantee health care to all people as a right. All of God's children, the poor, the wretched, they have a right to go to a doctor when they are sick. I want you to think of what this great country can be. We can be a nation which joins other nations around the world in guaranteeing health care to all people as a right. We can be a nation in which working parents can get quality, affordable child care. We can be a nation in which every American, regardless of his or her income, can get a college education. We can be a nation in which every senior lives out their lives in dignity and security. We can be a nation in where everyone, no matter their race, their religion, their disability, or their sexual orientation, realizes the full promise of equality that is our birthright as Americans. Brothers and sisters, this is the nation we can create when we stand together and not let people divide us.
The history of America and the fight for human dignity is a history of struggle. They struggled because they said, I am a human being. I have rights. You can't do that to me. I need dignity. And unions were formed, and people fought, and people died, and people were beaten, and people went to jail. When millions of people stand up and fight, they win.
What's going on, guys? We're back from the video. Hope you enjoyed it. But that video spoke to me 4 years ago or 3 years ago when I saw it. It's really moving and motivating to me. So hope you liked the video. Hope you understand what it means to be a progressive now, fighting for social justice and social change for all people, no matter who you are, your race, your religion, your sexual orientation, whether you're man or woman, tall or short, doesn't matter. Everyone, fighting for equality for all people, that everyone has a fair shake. Everyone has the right to a union. Everyone has the right to health care, a habitable environment, quality services paid for by tax dollars and ran by our government. That's what I believe. That's what a progressive is. And I hope maybe I changed your mind and helped open your eyes to what America really could be, what FDR fought for. So if you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe so you can see our future videos, and check out our Twitter page. I'm Michael W. Johnston here at the Progressive Machine. Fuck the establishment. Hey everyone, this is Michael Johnston, your host here at the Progressive Machine. Hope you liked the video. If you did, hit that like button and subscribe for future videos. And check us out at our Twitter at twitter.com/progressivemac.